Hey, it's the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and we're back with Girl Meets Jurassic World. What? No, no, it's just Girl Meets World. I'm being silly. Uh, you still get my sexy voice on this here. Let me check something here. I gotta bring this up. As I need my references, I have not seen this show before, and even though its predecessor was a '90s touchstone for so many people, I was already grown up when it came on, so it was still, I never really watched Boy Meets World. Uh, this is more like Boy Meets World: The Next Generation. It's from 2014 to 2000. I think it ended in 2017. It's a series about Corey and Topanga's daughter Riley and her little brother. Um, oh, I don't know what his name is, but uh, he Lucas? No, Lucas is the boyfriend. I'm learning. Oh, there he is. Augie Matthews. Wait, no, wait. Augie was his name. August. Crap, the kid was named August, and he played Augie. I guess he was so young he just couldn't remember his own name, so they just cast him as himself. Uh, yeah, just like Boy Meets World, from what I understand. I mean, I knew enough about it that what it was all about, but it was never something on my schedule to watch. And 1993 is when it started. I was already on X Files and stuff like that, so yeah, wasn't much for coming of age shows. And anyway, uh, Girl Meets World, obviously, like I said, is his daughter. It's focused on his daughter and her best friend. What's her name? Oh, Maya. Maya. Yeah, I watched 2 episodes. All right. Yeah, I knew what I was kind of in for, so I watched the first and the last episode, and a lot has happened apparently. Um, they have a. It starts out in pretty much traditional Disney fashion. Um, Everybody does big acting, loud with big facial gestures, facial movements, and things like that. That counts as comedy. Again, I'm not busting on it like it's like a bad show or anything. It's for its generation, and just like the one before it, it is exactly meant to be what it is. It's not meant for me. So I can look at the little ticks and go, this is a process. And I swear to God, they must have. I think they reused sets from a, a dozen other Disney projects. This felt like a a piece of, I don't know. I've seen a lot of teenage girls comedies on Disney Plus by now. I expected Raven Simone to show up. I expected Good Luck Charlie to show up. All those characters, but maybe they did somewhere in between. I have no idea. But Jack A makes an appearance on the subway twice in the first episode. So old school fans will go, "Oh, I know that actress." Um, but yeah, I mean, it still focuses on Ben Savage and what's her name who played Topanga? Oh, Danielle Fishel. Danielle Fishel and Ben Savage played Corey and Topanga, the primary characters who struggled through high school together, meeting the world together, and eventually got married and had kids. So their daughter here, Riley, she runs through the same gamut, and they're not subtle at all in the selling of the title of the show, talking about the world and it's not my world anymore, it's your world, or you've got to meet the world. They are on brand when talking about the point of this thing. Riley's a good kid. Maya technically isn't a good kid. She's a wild child who has a tremendous lack of parenting. Apparently, that's apparent in the first episode, and she gets Riley into trouble. And Dad is always there, sort of to be the even keel to try. Well, he gets walked over pretty much. Topanga, I think, is more of a hard ass. Um, it's his daughter, so yeah, Daddy's gonna bend over backwards when it comes to his daughter. But the thing is, he's in order to keep him in the story a lot, in the show a lot, he's also their teacher, a history teacher, in fact, where he teaches them about the world. But yeah, so he's not just at home. It's not, you don't have storylines where he's can only be at home. It's also a lot of their adventures at school. So the first episode just deals with the two girls being allowed at middle age, probably 13 or something like that, being allowed to ride the subway on their own. And of course, they meet a cute boy immediately. Maya just tramples over him like in one sequence, in one breath. She meets him, dates him, and dumps him, so that Riley is free to take her chance with him, because Maya has no need for him anymore. It's funny. It's really cute. And Riley is an absolute sweetheart. You might also recognize her. She's a friend of Adam Goldberg in Goldberg's, or was it his girlfriend? She was one version of his girlfriend, one actress who played his girlfriend, the same character. I think more than one actress has played his girlfriend Jackie on that show. Anyway, yeah, so it's a fun little show. Like I said, I watched the first and last episodes because I knew I probably, after seeing the first one, I was probably not gonna be watching the entire thing myself. So I decide, when I do this kind of thing, I'm going to take this to the other extension and see how the characters have changed. And it's usually very interesting. And it actually was super interesting in this case, because one of the tropes I should add to the list for Disney Channel stuff is the concept of moving as a big emotional impact. It happened on Good Luck Charlie like 2 or 3 times. Because I would watch the first episode of each season, or maybe and then it was the last episode. Like every season was like, we're gonna move away, and then they don't, or they do move away, but everybody moves with them or something. I don't know. It was one of those kind of things where the status quo didn't change, but it created drama. In this case, the final episode, Riley's family, because Topanga's got a job offer in London. And it must have been revealed in the previous episode or the previous few episodes, because Maya is completely upset about this, about how she knows down to the mile how far away she's going to be. They're best friends forever. And one of the main concepts of this thing is dealing with best friends and having that best friend. And it's the ideal thing that every kid wants, male or female. Every kid wants is to have that person they can rely on, always be with them, and be able to share adventures and new things, and wear cool clothes and be loved no matter what, and also have a family that supports them. And when it reaches this episode where the family is about to be uprooted, they spend the entire episode bringing back every single character they've ever dealt with, including one they completely forgot about that might have been there the whole time. Other thing about this, which I didn't realize, I don't know if Boy Meets World did this as well, but they're completely, not completely, they're partially aware, they're very meta, they're aware that they're on a show. At least one character knows they're on a show, and there's a sequence when Topanga has to seek advice from the people she cares about most. They literally bring back the entire cast of Boy Meets World and put them in one room. And while there's a laugh track, it seems like it in the first episode, maybe it's still a laugh track. All I know is it got a lot of woos and clapping. And that could be canned too. I have no idea. But yeah, I imagine there was lots of fans in the audience, if that was a real audience, who were just dying through and crying through this entire episode, because pretty much every single actor was in there. Even both actresses who played, I don't know, what's her name? There was a girl named, an IMDb listing here. Oh, I don't know. There was actually one at one point played a girl, maybe it was his sister, yeah. Played Corey's sister. 2 different actresses played his sister at Morgan, I think, at different points. And the actresses are sitting next to each other on the couch, and they're like giving advice to how to handle this to the little brother. And one says something and then she tags out, and the other girl who took over for her takes over the conversation. It's fully meta. They, in order to get everybody back, they realize this is 1000% fan service, and to be able to see both versions of Morgan or whoever her name was, it began with an M. It honestly was just something that fans probably ate up or was really confused by. I don't know either way. But for me, if I was a fan of the show, I would have loved every single bit of this. It's a 1000% fan service kind of moment in this show. So sorry to spoil that for you if you haven't watched it. But yeah, if you're a teenage girl, again, there's so many things. I always say this. There's so many things that are focused on teenage girls because it's, you know, Disney. For the longest time, they only had princesses for the most part to latch onto, and the boy centered stuff only came in when they bought Lucasfilm and Marvel. And they were smart to do so, but a lot of this again starts with it's very girl centric, and but at the same time, like I said, it's what's represented in these episodes is something that every kid wants to have, is a sense of friendship, a sense of love from family and friends. So it's well acted, and everybody's awesome. But I did, while it's well acted, everybody just sort of had to go through a process of saying specific lines. There's even a flashback to the original series in the new series, which is, yeah, it was, I don't know what, there was a little boy, not a little girl, so maybe he had a son at the end of the series, but yeah, I don't know, but they didn't show what's her face, Riley. So yeah, anyway, if you know what the show is, you'll know what I'm talking about more than I do. And honestly, if you had no interest in seeing Boy Meets World, you'll have no interest in watching Girl Meets World. So everything you're watching here is a complete waste of time. So yeah, hey, if you're a fan of the original series, I think you'll enjoy this. Be able to see they have tons of fan service flashback moments, and if nothing else, watch the final episode if you want to get that fan service. It's a cute show. So I'm gonna pick tomorrow's Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and it reset itself. Dang it! Gonna put in that 768. All right, here we go. What number was 664? Wow, that's 5 less than we had earlier. Did everything just reset itself? I mean, it's been a day since I've used this. Come on. Load. 664. It's an Excel file. It's a large, well, it's a somewhat large Excel file, but... And this, again, this list tends to love 600s. 600s and 300s. So we are in 664. Oh no. Okay. 664 is another seasonal hit. It's a hit. Yeah, it's one of the classics. Well, somewhat modern classics. It is starring Tim Allen. If you know that, oh yeah, 664. Yeah, 664. Let me make sure. Yep, 664 is the Santa Claus. So, hey, join me in being the only people who are watching the Santa Claus in March. Yeah, let's screw with the Disney Plus's analytics and algorithms. And they're just like, why in the world is one guy and maybe 4 people besides him watching the Santa Claus in March? Anarchy. All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow with the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge.